Okay, Virgo. So as far as your current hopes, fears, expectations, okay, we have the Two of Pentacles. This is an earth sign. So Virgo, I feel this is strongly your energy. As you can tell, Virgo, just by the figure here, as far as love and romance goes, I feel like a lot of you are torn. Whenever you have the two, it's all about choices, it's all about decisions, and this figure is juggling. So a lot of you are juggling with your love life. This can also reflect, because it's a pentacle, it's a material. So finance, work. I also feel for some of you that work and love, you're juggling both of these energies. And some of you are like, how can I pursue both with the same intensity, the same fervor? For some Virgos, it may be hard to, if they want to be successful at work, it's much easier just to put all your energies into work and not into love. Or if you're starting to pursue love or a relationship, it's really easy to get so caught up into relationship that work can suffer. So I do feel that some of you are trying to juggle, and even though on the surface, Virgo, everyone thinks that you're calm, cool, and collected, as you can see behind this character, look at the ocean, look at the waves. Very turbulent. Not necessarily a storm and major upheaval, but it's definitely not perfectly calm and settled waters the way that everyone may perceive you to be. There's a lot looming in the background. There's ships, there's a lot of subconscious activity, I feel like, happening for you, Virgo. So even though you are, doing your work on a day-to-day basis, pursuing your career, going about your business, you're thinking, you are emotionally perceiving. There are, the waters are a little stormy. I'm not going to say that they're crazy, but you are considering, you're thinking about your love life. This can also represent, Virgo, I feel like, because I know based on the past readings as well, a lot of you have been dealing with some interesting relationship dynamics. So this can kind of allude to the ups and downs of relationships and kind of the emotional highs and lows of relationships. So I feel like for this month, there are days where you're content. There are days where you're feeling pretty good. You're doing your stuff. You're doing your business. And then there's other days where you're not satisfied. You're not happy. You know that you want a richer romantic life, but maybe you just understand how much energy that's going to take to make that work and to invest in it. And a lot of you, I still feel like, are not ready to actually put forth that effort because of the past, because of maybe what you have been through. I feel like a lot of you are still recovering from that. And like I said, this is all about, once again, finding the balance. A lot of you are still trying to find your equilibrium and trying to sort out and reconcile the past, reconcile the stormier waters that some of you have been through, and how you can find that happy medium between work and love. And this is not easy work, Virgo. And because you're an earth sign, things, you're not one to jump in to a relationship or to impulsively jump in. And so this work of juggling the past and the present, or work and love, is not something that you can do overnight. And so a lot of you are navigating these waters. Like I said, one day's up, one day's down, and you're still in this process. As far as your expectations, I feel like you are expecting that you're going to figure this out. You're expecting that eventually the waters will calm and, it'll be a clear, crystal clear blue day. You will have this figured out. But I feel that some of you are just, you're accepting that change is part of life. And for some of you who a relationship has not worked out, or the person has not worked out, that change is just reality, that you're accepting that about life, that what we once thought was, it no longer is. It's about learning to adapt to new situations and being flexible. And a lot of you, I feel, are learning to let go of what you once held on to and believed so firmly and so powerfully. You're also, you know, a lot of you are adapting and changing your perspectives because, and not really because you wanted to almost, but because you've been forced to based on life. And a lot of you are starting to move into new waters, new territories. You're adapting and changing your lifestyle. And all I can say is that that takes time. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is a transitionary period. On the surface, you know, like I said, people just may think you're fine, but I do feel like more is happening behind the scenes. For some of you, and because this is general, I have to tap in to different aspects. The Two of Pentacles, it can suggest that some of you are making a decision regarding finances, or you're choosing between two potential partners. So like I said, for some of you, you still might be kind of holding on to the past. And do you hold on to the past, or do you go forward and, you know, start experiencing new waters, start moving out into new uncharted territory? When you have the Two of Pentacles, if you're in a relationship, for some Virgos, it can represent that this relationship really keeps you on your toes, that, you know, you're constantly trying to juggle the responsibilities of life, a hectic lifestyle, and, you know, you're having a hard time finding the way to balance life, work, and their energy. And it can literally be draining for some of you. The King of Cups in the reverse. And the King of Cups in the reverse, we've had this character before, Virgo. So for some of you, you're still dealing with this character, this relationship. The King of Cups in the reverse, this is someone, it's a male or someone that has a masculine energy, and they could behave emotionally. It could be a water sign, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but it could also just be somebody that has their characteristics. The King of Cups in reverse this is an immature person. This is somebody that is not in touch with their emotions. So this could be you as well, Virgo. This could be you, or this could be someone that you're dealing with. This is someone whose emotions are repressed. They're not feeling. They're feeling unhappy. They're also feeling dark moods. So I want to say that for some of you, this is Virgo. I feel that this is you. And you're feeling stressed. Some of you are feeling stressed. And because, you know, I'm just feeling, because Virgo, you've been hurt. You know, when Virgo is happy, they are incredibly sacrificial. They're incredibly giving. But for some of you, if you have not been in a healthy situation, you have nothing left to give. And so I feel that that's why what you might be juggling, even though you're doing all this work and you're trying to put things back together, you're trying to move forward, there might be an undercurrent here of repressed emotions. And that would make sense because the Two of Pentacles, which is representing your energy, I mean, there's some turbulent waters under the surface. This is also about kind of feeling withdrawn. And so for some Virgos, there's just, you know, as far as love goes, you're needing time to be with yourself. You know, I can't emphasize this enough, where there's been a lot of damage done, and that damage is not fixed overnight. And so the temptation when it comes to love is just to withdraw and to pull back. It's also about just being indifferent, like honestly not really caring. Like I feel like some of you just kind of given up and, you know, I don't really care what happens anymore. Some of you might be feeling nostalgic, and I do get that, because this is what I sense about Virgo, is that there's this part of you that wants to move forward and has learned the lessons, is over this past situation. But there's also a part that is kind of going back. So you're kind of going back and forth. And this is just part of the process, Virgo. So don't beat yourself up for it. Like I said, Virgo, you know, you don't commit quickly, but when you commit, you commit. And so something that you have invested that much time and energy in, you're not going to be able just to reverse that in like a day. For some of you Virgos, you might be experiencing addictions, overindulging, and this could just be an escape from the pain, an escape from what you've experienced, and just not wanting to kind of experience those painful emotions. So that's how it's going to reflect if it applies to you, Virgo, for some of you. And that's going to be the obstacle, is just kind of dealing with these emotions from the pain of this relationship, or someone not meeting your expectations in love, which I feel like was very painful for you. So for others of you, if you are branching out, or if you are dealing with, because some of you are currently in a relationship and you're trying to juggle it. Some of you are dealing once again with this King of Cups energy in the reverse. This person is almost like a con man. Person is not very trustworthy. And I feel like you know that, Virgo, but maybe you're staying because, you know, you want to make it work. So the thing about the King of Cups in reverse, this person may not be obviously emotionally needy. Like maybe Virgo, you know that they are under the surface, but they are. They're good at playing the game. They have charisma, they have charm, but under the surface, they're not healthy. This partner is needing constant reassurance that they're loved and needed. This person that you're dealing with might have dark moods. One day they're one way, the next day they're another. This is someone that could be codependent, that relies on their partner to make them feel better. And, you know, because of that, this person loses their sense of confidence and self-esteem. And you may be kind of dealing with this person, but you kind of don't have respect for them at the same time. The King of Cups, when in reverse, like I said, it's a charmer, it's a seducer, it's a con man. It's someone who knows how to ensnare you, Virgo, who knows how to push your buttons, who knows how to pull your heartstrings. And it's a seducer, and he does this to exert power and control. And he'll control her with emotions, but withdraw it when she doesn't do what he wants. That is not emotionally loving. There's an emotional coldness to this relationship. He'll be there for you when he needs it, but the next day he's gone. This person is emotionally unstable, Virgo. So I feel like some of you are juggling with this controlling relationship and moving forward. That's what I feel like you're dealing with. So as far as the outcome, we have the Tower. So Virgo, what I'm sensing is that, you know, there is a shock. And this for some of you, this has been in the past. For some of you, this is what is to come. The Tower it's about destruction of the ego or the sense of what you have believed. It's about awakening, but awakening in a painful way. It's about coming to realizations. For some of you, this could be out of the blue, but for some of you, it just might be expected. You know that it's happening. It's about getting new revelation and new awakening, but it's painful, Virgo. It's painful, and it strips away everything that you believed to be solid and enduring. As you can see, these two characters, they were in their home, their castle. They were going about life as usual. And maybe they never would have moved. They never would have changed. And so God allowed some crazy, you know, force of lightning to kind of knock them out of their false reality. What this shows, Virgo, is that for some of you that are still dealing with this relationship, and some of you, I just feel like this is rehashing what's already been. So some of you, I don't feel like this is coming up. I feel like this is what has happened in the past. And I feel like this is still what you're dealing with. You're still dealing with how powerful this was for you. You know, there was no way to avoid this situation, Virgo. This change, you know, was very brutal for you. And some of you, it was unexpected, and it was very painful. The change was forced upon you. So maybe you were dealing with this person that emotionally was not healthy for you, and you were forced to let go of the relationship, or you were forced, whether you were willing or not. I feel like a lot of you were not happy in the situation. You wanted to be set free, but whoever this character is that you've been dealing with, this person is a like I said, a con man, a swindler, a charmer, an illusionist. And so that type of powerful person, even if they're unhealthy, they're not easy to break free of. For some of you, this is actually a narcissist type personality. And so this Tower that has happened in your love life maybe was sent by God to protect you from this relationship, because maybe you would not have saved yourself, Virgo, because you were so committed to this. You are so self-sacrificing and want to help, that this person whom you believed you could help, you know, God is saying you cannot help them. You cannot save them. And so to save you, I am going to send this crazy situation to force you to wake up, to force you to see things as they are and not the illusion that you have built. And this is why I feel, Virgo, that you're not very, you know, and this isn't going to apply to everyone, but this is why I feel that you're not totally open to love, because whatever the situation has been, Virgo, it shook you to your core. It shook you to your foundations, and it took control out of your hands. And Virgo does not like to be out of control. They like to control. They feel secure and, you know, in being in control. And so this situation is taking you time to restabilize, to rebalance. And I do feel like for the outcome, as painful as this situation has been, Virgo, in the long run, you're going to be thankful for this. In the long run, you're going to see it as it was kind of a wake up call for you. And the change that it's bringing you is harsh, but in the long run, you're going to understand it. You're going to see it. You're going to see that it was actually a cleansing time for you. And if you're still going through these turbulent times, Virgo, just know this will pass, and continue taking care of yourself, continue doing the right things, continue taking the right steps. Eventually the path will clear, and you're going to be so much wiser and better, and you're going to be able to help that much more other people who will be where you are right now. So there's so much more I could say. This is a pretty powerful reading, but you know, anyway, I truly hope this has helped you. If it has, I would so appreciate for you to like, subscribe to this channel.